I'm making my fanciest Karambit yet, but the Damascus I chose is highly prone to splitting open. It will have a radial mosaic Damascus pattern that could resemble a spider web. I'm gonna get this billet all welded up and then we can get it in the forge to heat up to forge welding temperatures. You might be wondering what these two pieces of sheet metal are for. Well, I cut them so we could seal up the sides of the billet. What's the purpose of the sheet metal? Well, it's to keep oxygen and atmosphere from getting inside the billet. This way we'll have clean, zero atmosphere forge welding. We don't need any flux, we don't need anything like that. It'll be all sealed up under this sheet metal. I've seen a lot of comments asking why I put Vaseline on my billets. You can already see the sheet metal starting to crack and come loose here on the outside. See right here and right here? Look at that. I've got all the sheet metal ground off. Got the billet back in the forge, heated back up again. We're going to continue forging this out now. Now the inside of the billet has these distorted layers that we call C's that later become W's. Now I need to continue drawing this billet out into a nice long piece. One more heat, we just gotta straighten it out. Well, I don't know, do we? I think it looks pretty straight already, so I might just skip the straightening. What do you think? That's probably straight enough, right? I thought I was done forging the billet, but after looking at the edge of it, it's got big, thick and thin spots all over in it, so I'm not happy with that, so I'm gonna make it more even. Okay, now we're done. Now if we look here at the edge view, nice consistent thickness. We'll let this cool down, then we'll grind the scale off, cut it up and restack. I cut the ends off the billet, ground them clean, and then went ahead and etched the ends too so we can see the pattern, and it looks absolutely perfect, what I was looking for. We've got these nice distorted C-shaped layers instead of straight layers because we distorted them on purpose. Those C's are gonna become W's as we cut this billet up and restack it. Before we finish our radial Damascus, a quick word from our sponsor, Mr. Cool. Imagine going to bed every night and having to wear earplugs. Not because of snoring, but because your old window unit sounds like a jet engine in your bedroom. That's what my mom and dad were dealing with every night. So I decided enough was enough. I surprised them with the Mr. Cool DIY ductless mini split.
Oh my goodness.
Mr. Cool heard how much you guys have been wanting one, and they sent us this over, and we're gonna put it in your room today. It's gonna chill you out and be silent in the summer, and it should be nice and toasty warm so you won't have to use space heaters in the winter anymore. And here's the kicker. We installed it ourselves. It took about 4 hours, mostly because Dad kept supervising.
It says DIY. That means you do it yourself. I supervise.
This is part of what really makes the magic happen, Dad. This Mr. Cool line set comes like pre-vacuumed, so you don't have to have any kind of HVAC guy come out. That's what I love so much about the Mr. Cool DIY stuff, is that you can just set it up yourself. And get this, it's Energy Star certified, which means it'll cut their power bill in half. Dad says he's already planning what to do with the savings. Probably gonna buy more soda. We got it all hung.
It looks like we paid somebody to do it.
I love the vinyl housing kit that goes over the pipes, and it really just makes it look nice and clean. All right, Mom and Dad, come on. We gotta check this out for the first time. There it is.
Oh my goodness! Oh.
Thank you, Kyle. I love it.
Thank you, Mr. Cool. If your window unit sounds like it's auditioning for a jet engine role, get yourself a Mr. Cool DIY today. Save money, sleep better. Link is below. Thank you to Mr. Cool for supporting the channel. Now, back to the forge. Next, I need to cut these up into equal length pieces and then grind this finish a little bit cleaner with a 2x72. By the way, it's important to cut them into equal length pieces. If I mess up on that, we might end up with a lot of wasted material. I think it's about time for some new gloves. I was over there grinding, I'm like, ow, hot! There's a hole all the way through the finger right here, and the leather around it's real thin. Oh, that looks good. I got the billet all cut up. Pieces look nice and even, don't have any crazy outliers there. Got the surfaces cleaned up. Now I'm gonna add in some strips of 1084 steel, and this is gonna add to the effect of the Damascus pattern we're making. I've got the billet held together with super glue. I'm gonna go over and weld up all these seams and then forge weld everything together. Then comes the scary part. I'm going to split the billet all the way through the center with these big triangular shaped dies. There's two things I'm really concerned about going wrong. One is that the billet just breaks apart because the forge welds aren't good enough on the edges or something. And the other thing is that if I get it off center, I'll end up with these really weird shaped pieces that just don't go together well. Woo! Lost some hair on that one.
I know there's so much love, it's blinding, but still I never get it right. When I'm lost within the fire, will I find you in the flame? With you I know I'll never be alone. My God,
Got the billet forge welded, I've got it straightened out. On the next session, we're gonna turn this billet into a radial pattern. Hopefully the billet won't tear open, and hopefully I can cut it nice and centered. The brown recluse inside of there. Pretty sure he's about to die. Some heat exposure. A little twist in it that I don't appreciate. All right, let's really cut it now. Oh, this seems wrong in so many ways. Oh. That squeaky sound. Do a little inspection and see if anything's tearing apart. Woo, it's so hot. It looks pretty good. There's a line right here that looks kind of concerning. I hope that doesn't mean it's tearing apart right there. Woo, big scale. That's it, we're there. We're all the way through. Once this billet cools down, I'll grind the scale off and start cleaning things up, and then we'll really be able to tell if something's split open, and we'll also be able to tell more clearly how evenly I cut them once we get it processed a little bit more. Hot sparks! Can I pick them both up at the same time? Yes, I can. I'm just skilled like that. Here's how our pattern looks. I think it's really cool looking. You can clearly see how that big radial die that cut through the billet, how it drugged the pattern down and squished it down to a point. It is so cool looking. You can see those flares all just pinched together. I got our two halves cleaned up, and I went ahead and cut them in half. By the way, all the sound you hear is Dad running the milling machine over here, milling out some bronze for a chef's knife. Now we have all four of our little pieces, and we can put them all together and make our mosaic radial pattern just like this. Also, now that I ground into the pieces and everything, they look very good. Next, I'm gonna super glue these pieces together, and I'm gonna add in these 4 strips of dark steel. In between each one of the pieces, we'll add a strip, and that'll kind of tie into the dark steel that we added earlier. During this next forge weld session, something I'm gonna have to really look out for are these giant gaps between the pieces. You see, these triangular shaped pieces are not completely uniform and smooth and perfect triangles. They came out really good, but with all that being said, there are some massive gaps around the edges. So I gotta make sure that everything closes up really well and forge welds together, because if it doesn't, we're gonna have a big old black seam of unwelded metal going down the middle of the billet, and that would be bad to say the least. I just got the billet in the forge, I turned it on and then stuck it in immediately. I did that because I want the billet to heat up slowly with the forge. The metal expands as it heats up and it could break loose those TIG welds, and then the atmosphere could get inside the billet and actually make scale form, and then all of a sudden none of the layers will forge weld together because there's scale in there keeping them from welding. I let our radial pattern Damascus cool down, and then I rough ground all the scale off with the angle grinder. Then I cut it up into 9 equal length pieces, and that's what's gonna make a 9-way, what you see right here. The question we all wanna know though is, how did those gaps close up with the last forge welding session? We had those triangular shaped pieces with some gnarly big gaps. Well, I'm very happy to say that they closed up beautifully. Part of what helped with that was the zero atmosphere forge welding. I sealed up all those seams with the TIG welder so no oxygen and atmosphere could get inside and no scale could form inside, and then it all forge welded closed. I've got our 9-way billet all rubber banded together to temporarily hold it so I can clamp it up, and then we can weld it together. One of the main problems that could arise during this next forge welding session is actually getting a bunch of distortion in our pattern. So on this next forge welding session, I really need to focus on very delicately forging out this billet, because we're 9 timesing the layers. Instead of one little radial pattern, we're gonna have 9 of them. So the distortion will look really bad if I get much of it in there. Should have one solid billet now with 9 radial pattern little explosion things in it. I just finished forging out our mosaic radial billet. I was very careful forging it out because I didn't want to introduce any extra distortion into the pattern. I'm not sure how it looks. I think it'll be okay, but we won't really find out until I cut the billet off and see how the pattern actually looks. Got the scale cleaned off the billet. Cut the end off, ground it clean. Let's etch it and see how the pattern looks. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I love it so much. I think I was just delicate enough with the hydraulic press to keep it from getting overly distorted and to keep the pattern looking nice and tight. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, I'm so happy it didn't get distorted. Wow. Keep in mind right now the pattern is about twice as fine as it will be on the actual knife. As I forge out the blade, this pattern is gonna open up about twice as open as it is right now. In the next episode, we'll turn this billet of Damascus into an actual karambit. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. I will see you in the next video. May the forge be with you. Bye-bye!